So today I want to talk about some of my like holy grail go-to products as an actor when it comes to beauty. Preface this with like, I was a 4-H kid, didn't grow up wearing makeup and stuff. I started wearing makeup when I was like in my 20s, and then I started doing my hair in my 30s. So a lot of these products are products that I found very easy to use because that was kind of like my barrier to entry. I'm not a beauty expert. I do love skincare, and I have been spending hours and hours studying that for the past like 10, 12 years. So that's kind of more my area of interest and I guess limited expertise. But when it comes to makeup products, they have to be easy to use, and they have to be something where I kind of like don't have to try too hard to learn them. So we're gonna start with one hair thing and then kind of go into skincare, makeup, that kind of stuff. So thanks for being here. Also, before we get too far into the video, I'm sorry if you can hear my cat messing around in a little box with paper in it because she's getting a little hungry. We're like an hour away from dinner time, so the campaign has begun. But anyway, we're gonna start with this. This is the Shark Flex Style, and partially I got this because I'm really terrible with hair, and I tried round brushes and I tried straight iron, I tried everything, and just never really found anything that I could use as someone who just doesn't have a lot of dexterity with hair tools. And a friend of mine had the Dyson Airwrap, and she let me borrow it, and I unfortunately fell in love with it. And so then I was like, well, I don't want to pay, it was like $500. I was like, I'm not paying $500. So I looked around and I watched a ton of reviews, and it seemed like the biggest complaints about the Shark were its heft. The heat is different than Dyson, like as far as I think it's a little hotter. And then they didn't like that the cool down button was here, but I'm not gonna lie. I'm not somebody who like, hair isn't a convenient thing for me that I'm like, oh, this just isn't as convenient as a Dyson. I'm like, they're all inconvenient. So let me just find the cheapest one. This was on sale. It was like $250, I think. And then this barrel is the one that I usually use. It's what I used for this. And the nice thing about this is I do my hair like when I wash it, and then it's good for 2 days, sometimes 3. So like the day of washing, the next day, and then the day after that. And like when I'm working on indie projects where they don't have a hair stylist and I have to do my own hair, this ends up being like clutch. I actually did my own hair for my headshots as well, and the makeup artist helped touch me up, but like, and then if there's like a day where I wake up, so I'm gonna insert like a video of my 3rd day hair. And sometimes it's like that where it's a little bit looser or beachier, and if I want it to kind of turn back into this, I just hit the sections with this for like 2 seconds and it bounces right back, and it's amazing. So I love this. It's an investment, but the amount of time it saved me, and I feel like the amount of money it saves me, because time is money, but also like I was just never satisfied with my hair before I had this. And so I would spend a lot of money on different products to try and make me feel like my hair looked nice. And with this, I'm just like, oh, just hit it with this and I don't need any more products. So it's nice. Just have your like heat protection, and I have like a high hold spray that I use, and then this, so nice. So that's number 1. Okay, number 2, that's kind of dirty, I'm sorry. Second. Lord have mercy. Number 2 is the Danessa Myricks Blurring Balm. You will see that I have gone through a lot of it. I think I bought this. This didn't come in a beauty box. I do get the Allure beauty box, and I do really love it. I skip it a lot, but it's just such a good way to try things. But I got this as a primer because I was doing my first feature in the woods, and this was like sold to me as something that was just gonna like make my texture and stuff make my texture more even. But I actually found that it doesn't work as a face primer for me as well. But what it does work so well as is an eyelid primer, because my eyelids get oily, and something about the way my eyes are shaped, like eyeshadow does not stay on my face. It just slides everywhere. And so this has been the only thing that I have tried that has worked to keep my eyeshadow in place all day. No creasing. Like, I love this stuff. And so while it is expensive, this has lasted me, that would be 3 years ago. So I don't wear makeup every day though, but I only use like the tiniest amount. and it goes so far. Okay, next up we have mascara. I have a thing with mascara where it doesn't stay on my face. I was told by a makeup artist on a show I worked on where she was like, makeup slides off your face. And I have found this to be true. So when it comes to mascaras, I do waterproof because otherwise I'm gonna end up with like huge raccoon eyes. And the ones that I found that I like the best are L'Oreal. I do really like, I think it's called the Lash Sensational. It's the pink tube. That's probably my favorite. But then I layer, so I get like, I do the panorama for length and then, the telescopic for length, and then I'll hit it with the panorama. Sometimes just the panorama if I don't care too much about length. And then I do really like this layered under the Lash Sensational or just the Lash Sensational on its own. I will say, like, when I first opened these tubes, I don't love them. It's like, I start loving them around week 2 because they dry out just a little bit. Because the other one that I really like, unfortunately, is the Yves Saint Laurent, whatever it's called, Lash Clash or something, the black tube with like the gold on it. I really, really like that product, but it's so expensive. And I think what I like about it is its dryness. So these dry out for like a couple weeks and you're golden. And they don't go anywhere. Like here, they go because I use them. Next was something that I got in a beauty box, in the Allure beauty box. And so I don't really know how much it costs because I've been working my way through this for months. And it's only like, it's like down to there. So I use this a lot and it's barely moving. So it's in the shade Guava and it's the Haus Labs lip gloss. I'm wearing it right now. And I think what I like about it is it feels very moisturizing, but it's not a very sticky gloss. I cannot stand sticky glosses. I'm like, I will rub that off of my face. This one I also feel like has like a good color to it where it looks like my lips but better. And what I do sometimes for auditions, I put this on, I let it sit for a bit, and then I blot it. So it's just like, oh, it's just a little bit of pink color. Prior to this, I had gotten a YSL Candy Glaze, I think they're called, and I liked it, but this is just, I don't know. I think when you find the right gloss for you, it's just, it is it. And I've tried so many different balms and glosses, and this is the one that I love the most. Okay, we're gonna do one body product and then we're gonna go into face. The Solitaire deodorant, I love. This one is in the Santal Bloom scent, but what I did was like, oh, it smells so good. What I did, I think it was during Black Friday last November, is that I like cleaned out their clearance scents. So I got some scents that are unfortunately discontinued that were also amazing. And I got them for cheaper. But what I like about this is I was having some discoloration in my underarm. I think just from like shaving, irritation, all that kind of stuff. And this has AHAs in it, I think. So I was like, oh, that might help like exfoliate some of it out. And also, I know that there's like nothing actually wrong, according to dermatologists, with antiperspirant, but there's something, I've been through this like whole holistic health journey over the last 10 years since being diagnosed with a couple of thyroid conditions, and there's something in my head about like if something says anti in it, I get a little nervous. So I just like that this has just deodorant, and I don't use this on set because on set I need the heavy duty stuff. But in between, I use this, and I do think it's really helped with the discoloration. And actually, I'm not gonna lie, like when I'm not on set or in highly stressful situations, I smell pretty good with this. Like, it does a good job. And I hadn't found a deodorant that did, because I went through so many natural deodorants. None of the natural deodorants worked, and they even like burned. Like Tom's freaking burned. I was rashy. It was disgusting. Okay, so we like this. So my favorite SPF is this one. It is a Japanese SPF. I've been using it for years. The containers have gone through like multiple colors because I think they reformulate every single year, and every single year they change the color. So I think this new one is like a gold pink one. It's like $10 a tube, honestly, and like such good coverage. I don't depend on my SPF for moisturization. So I need something that's like somewhat moisturizing, but I hate waiting to rub in sunscreen. When I do my skincare, I like pace because I literally can't be still. So I like that this one's easy to rub in. It sits great under makeup. I've never had an issue with it pilling or anything like that. It reapplies great. And honestly, like I've tried so many of the other trendy Korean sunscreens, like the Beauty of Joseon, the Cynic, the Can Make Mermaid one. I mean, you name it, I've probably tried it and they're okay, but I really like this one. Okay, so next are a couple of newer products to me from the brand Prequel. I started this year with Prequel products because I was looking for something more affordable. And I also have pretty, I would say, reactive skin. I started noticing this like 13 years ago. I can't really do many products with essential oils in them, and I try to avoid fragrance. A dermatologist I had in the past diagnosed me with acne rosacea. I don't know if that's what I have because I haven't like received active treatment for it, but I just know that if I do a ton of fragrance in my products, I can feel like I can see a difference. There are some products with fragrance in it, like from Sunday Riley. Sometimes I'm okay with those, but by and large, I'm like, let me just avoid it. So the first one is the multi-acid milk peel from Prequel. Okay, she's spicy though. I'm not a novice. I've used the Dr. Dennis Gross peel pads, the First Aid Beauty peel pads, lactic acid serums. Like, I've tried a bunch of stuff. I do also have the Platinum Skincare Mandelic peel series. Really like that as well. But this one is just like an easy peasy once a week kind of thing for me. And I feel like I've noticed a texture change in my skin like the day after I use this. I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm like younger and she looks so smooth and like makeup sits so nice. So I do really enjoy this. I think I'll probably stick to like once a week because of a product I have coming up after this, but super like it. And like by Grapthar's Hammer, what a savings. 7.6 fluid ounces. I think this was like under $20 or maybe it was 20. Then I have another Prequel product. This is their Barrier Therapy Rich Skin Protectant Cream. It's the like heavier one. As I get older, I do have drier skin. I had normal skin when I was younger and like maybe slightly combo, but mostly normal. And yeah, as I get older, it's drier. I do really, for a while I was using the Ilyun Ceramide Atto cream, and that's what my husband uses at night. But I find if I just use that it doesn't rub in that well or like sink in. I feel like I'm missing like a level of hydration. So I really like this because I feel like it hits all the boxes. I do tend to like use the light blue one that they have. I use that under this because I'm extra. Or I'll use the Calming Lotus cream from Revectin. I do really like that moisturizer, and I'll do like a thin layer of that and then I'll slather this on top. The light blue one kind of can feel a little weird to me sometimes. Like, is it slightly irritating my skin somehow? I don't know. But this one, no complaints. Love it. The next thing is a retinoid. I've been using a retinoid for like 10 years. Started with retinol, moved to retinol. I've used the Medicate Crystal, which is amazing, and I've used the Naturium ones. I hate to be this person. I am using this tretinoin now 0.1%, which is like the highest you can go. And when my dermatologist prescribed it, I was like, last time I was on tretinoin, it was at 0.025%, and that was in like 2022. But I've had no issues. I did the sandwich method for the first month, and now I'm putting it straight on my skin every third night. And I unfortunately do feel like I've seen such a difference in my texture and tone, and it's only been a month. I used to think that this was like way more expensive, but I was able to like see a derm online for free with my insurance, and then 3 tubes of this was $99. And I've been using this for a month and it looks like I haven't used any of it. So I think this will probably end up lasting me like a whole year, all 3 tubes. So if you think about like $100 for the whole year, it honestly might even be more than that. Like this might last me 2 years. If you think about it in that way, it's actually not that expensive. So there are things about me that are extra, and I've just I think somewhat accepted it. Like I have a red light panel, and I have the zip and whatever, and I have the MyoLift QT, which is another microcurrent device. But this might be, it feels like the most extra thing that I do, and it's not expensive. And that is these Bloom Body face smoothing patches. There was a time like a year ago, oh my gosh, I've been using these for 3 years, where I just noticed that I was waking up with this like etched in 11s. And I was like, girl, I'm in my mid-30s. Like, what's happening? So I wanted to see if I could like, the face taping thing, right? But I know myself, and I am not taping my whole face. And so I heard about these things from, I think it was Angie Hot and Flashy here on YouTube. She was like, oh, no. I think it was Penn Smith. It was Penn Smith Skincare. And she was like, you can put this over your skincare. I was like, good, because what I'm not doing is not doing skincare at night so that I can tape my face. That's not who I am. So you put it like you put this right here and you can tape it over your skincare. I do recommend you wait, like do your skincare routine and then come back like 15 or more minutes later and then put it on like right before you go to bed. I put this on and I think it just helped train me not to furrow my brow. And so I kind of have done this pretty religiously for like the first 2.5 years. And then lately I've been kind of easing off of it and only doing it like every few nights. And I noticed a huge difference, It feels so morning shed, Instagram, whatever, TikTok reel, but I do really think it works, unfortunately. And they're not that expensive. I think it's like $30 for 100. So, 3.5 of these a year you'll go through. I have so much more skincare, you guys. Like, I've tried so many products. I create skincare routines for my friends. I have like a little questionnaire and they answer questions and then I give them skincare recommendations and stuff. I love it. And I'm on a sort of beauty journey of my own with like makeup and hair and stuff. These are just products I found that make my life easier and aren't difficult to use. I hope that's been helpful. I'll link everything in the description below. And I have a Shop My, so if you're like, what other weird stuff does she use? Yeah, I really love weightlifting and overall like biohacking and wellness. So there's gonna be stuff over there on my Shop My, but also in the links below. So yeah, thank you. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer. I do love a good beauty routine.